Hello, friends. Molly Ponkativ here, CEO of the SOAR Community Network and co-founder of SOAR Community Nebula. We are going around the globe and we are trying to interview 1,000 champions of change this year and community builders. And today we have Miss Amelia Roberts with us. Thank you so much for being a part of our initiative.
Oh, Molly, thank you so much for including me and even thinking of me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So we normally start the interview by asking you to please introduce yourself to our audience and let them know what you're currently doing in the world.
Sure. I'm a visibility expert. What that means is, you know how sometimes somebody has a new project or they have a new idea, happening and they want to share it with the world. And, they have sometimes they only can think about, oh, well, I'll tell people to send folks my way. And then sometimes because of doing that, they don't necessarily get the results that they wanted, even though they did a lot of work. And what I do, I help people think about that process from the front end, think about who they could meet that would most impact getting the message out there, who they need to collaborate with, what influencers really need to know about what it is that they're doing and how they can partner up. And I identify those people, make introductions, and send them on their happy way.
When did you decide that this was something you wanted to do?
My background is in healthcare, and I saw that a lot of us, in my field, nurses, they had like so much information and so much expertise, and all of that was being sucked within a facility. They're in a job where they could only help people, but, from the time they're in the bed, and they weren't really able to get their message out there about what they do. And, some of them wanted to help beyond the bedside and they weren't quite sure how to do it. And me too, I was there, I was there feeling very invisible. And I really wanted someone for myself to help me to say, hey, you need to meet this person. This is what you need to say. And this is how you can help them. And I wish I had that for myself. So after thinking about it, and thanks to your help too, I got clarity around, that was what's missing in my life. And I'm really good at finding strategic partners for myself and others. And yeah, let me just do that. Let me just set up collaboration campaigns and make introductions and help people figure out who they need to meet and what they need to say and how they need to follow up. And that's been super fun.
That's really, really awesome. I'm glad that you were able to define your niche, because that's very important. So let's talk now about the community builders and champions of change in your life. When in your life have you experienced either a mentor or just someone very special, perhaps even a stranger, that's come along and really shifted you in a profound way, helped you to become the person that you are today?
I love the question. And I love hearing other people's responses. And, people say, your parents and whatnot, but specifically my mom, and there was a specific instance in middle school. So I'm an introvert. And when I say introvert, I mean, I took school lunch in the library in middle school just so I could recover and make it through the rest of the day. And my mom observed that. And she homeschooled me. And this was like 20 some years ago, before homeschooling was cool. And she homeschooled me, and she's a single parent, and she has a special needs child, my brother. What sacrifice just so your child could thrive. So she gave me back control of my environment. And because of that, I am the person that I am today. I don't know, I don't want to say what I would have been if she didn't do that, but I don't think I would have been able to. I don't want to say it's my level of functioning that I do have now is because early on, someone gave me control of my environment.
It's really, really amazing that you said that. And thank you, Mom, for creating this beautiful soul. It's interesting to know you now and to think that you were that introverted, right? Because I see you and you're communicating and you are giving so much of your energy to your work and to the people that you support. So it's really fascinating to see that. Thank you for sharing that story. When you think of community builders, like your mom, who is a change agent in your own life, but others out there that you have experienced and witnessed, are there overarching themes of how they operate, any attributes that are consistent?
Yeah. I think the fighting on someone else's behalf, because back then, again, like 20 plus years ago, it wasn't so much as a thing, it was definitely not something that there were like a whole lot of resources for. So the fact that, and as I'm looking at other change agents, they fight on someone else's behalf, and they build confidence in the other person to be successful too. So it was, I definitely appreciated that. It's like, I never, I mean, while there was like a lot of things I did have to do on my own, not being connected with the school system, that also was not a bad thing. I had to learn how to find my own resources, and we, had to learn how to navigate the world. And fortunately, the internet was around, and that did help things. And that actually, turned out very well and later on in business. But in any case, learning how to access resources and being somebody who's willing to go through that walk with someone else, even though that walk won't necessarily benefit them directly. I've seen that as a common theme among change agents.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you being a change agent in your community and for your community? What causes or movements or initiatives are you involved in where you're bringing forth your gifts, your talents, and your life experiences to really support that particular initiative?
So, core at what I do and why I do it, why I feel as though humans need to be seen and be made visible, and why I love helping people find their voice and their match, it's because I found that there are ancient principles that, when applied, affect all areas of life, from health to business to personal communications. And related to that, I'm involved in the Bible education work. I'm also learning Chinese to help further that work. And, secularly, when I see people who take some of those principles and apply them to business, they look like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. They look like Dave Ramsey. They look like Donald Miller of Building a Story Brand. So causes that are important to me is that Bible education work.
That's fantastic. That's really fantastic. Okay, so now the question comes down to inspirations and motivations. When things have been difficult for you and challenging, what do you turn to? Is there a motto, a philosophy, or a quote that really helps to bring you back to center and move you forward?
Yeah, there's a quote that that actually just came across that sort of conceptualized like my whole life, and I wondered like why didn't I come across it sooner? But it's from J.J. Peterson of Building a Story Brand. He's related to that, and he said like our responsibility, even though he's talking to business owners, humans, we're business owners, humans. Our responsibility of human as a human is to call other people to be the best version of themselves. And when you call people to be the best version of themselves via whatever it is that you do, amazing things can happen, and people want to champion around that cause, and people want to move that forward because you're invested in helping them be successful. And who doesn't want to be successful? So I think that would be it. We're called and we're responsible to calling people to be the best version of themselves.
Right, and it's so interesting that we're all trying to figure out what that best version of ourselves might look like, right? Going through the process of self-exploration, looking at our past, our present, and dreaming up of our future and coming up with, well, how do I get there? What is it that I already have inside of me that can help me do that? It's so interesting when we go through this journey of self-exploration that it really does come down to wanting to be the best version of ourselves, whatever that might be in the end. It's the process of uncovering that I think is quite fascinating, and that's
Yeah.
part of what you do. So it's kind of cool that you're tying your love, the causes that you want to move forward, and the things that matter to you into your work, and that's what this whole series is all about. All right, so last but not least, I would like to ask you, if you could describe a better world, what would it look like through your eyes?
Hmm. A better world would look like everybody knowing that they're here on purpose. Again, I believe that we were designed. I don't believe we sprouted up from a piece of grass or something like that. Because we were designed, that means that there are amazing things that only we can offer. And I think if more people knew their value in that way and trusted their value, I feel like amazing things would be happening in the world.
Miss Amelia, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate your insights, and congratulations on all the work that you're doing and discovering that this is yours to do.
Yep.
And actually making it into a business and supporting other businesses become the best version of themselves. Thank you so much for you being a community builder as well.
Melly, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
You're
Take
very
care.
welcome. For those that are watching, thank you so very much for being a part of our journey, being a part of our community. Please remember to nominate yourself or someone in your community who's making a big difference. And we'd love to hear from you as well. Visit us at nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. And if you need to reach us, please write us at info@soarcommunitynetwork.com. Thank you so very much. We look forward to seeing you again very soon.